So as you can probably tell from my white beard and quite honestly my bald head, I am going to be turning 60 years old this year, right, in 2019. And while I expect to be around for another 20 or 30 years, the truth is I just don't know. In fact, none of us do. So as I approach the end of my 6th decade of life, it has made me realize more than ever that I need to follow my dreams and do those things I've always wanted to do now. And while sitting at a desk pounding away at the keyboard may pay the bills, right, it doesn't fulfill those long-held dreams that I've had. Right? And I'm sure that when I'm sitting in my rocking chair on my front porch at the very end of my life, I am not going to be thinking, man, I wish I'd spent more time at that job. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'll be thinking just the opposite. I'll be thinking about the things I wasn't able to accomplish. In fact, I know that to be true because I've had the chance to go to see my parents who now live in an assisted living facility. And I've sat down in the cafeteria where they now go to eat their meals, and I've had the chance to talk to the friends that they've made there. And every one of them that I've been able to talk to all tell me that if they had to do it over again, they would do more while they still could. Right? They all regretted not being able to do those things they always wanted to do. Those of you who have been following me for some time know that I was an avid bicyclist for about 2 decades, or actually a little bit over that. And during that time back in the 80s, I was living in California, and my friends and I used to go to all of these bicycle charity events. That's before the big charities really got involved with it. And we could go, like most people go to motorcycle events today, pay our $20, have a great ride, usually 50 or 100 miles, and then hang out and just talk about bicycles. In fact, I still have the bike that I used to do those rides on. This is a 1987 Davidson Impulse, a really nice bike for the time. Now, during these years of riding, I developed this dream of riding my bicycle across the country. And that started back in, I guess, 1976 when they created the Trans-America Trail. And like the bicycle, I still have all of the maps that I purchased to do that trip. But unfortunately, life kind of got in the way, right? I let the tedium of daily life stop me from fulfilling my dream, and I never did ride my bike across the country. And I think that same thing is far too common for most of us. We get comfortable in our misery, we stay at jobs that we hate, and we keep pushing our dreams farther and farther out into the future. I mean, I know for years I kept coming up with excuses. I don't have the money, I don't have the time. Well, maybe we'll be able to do it next year. And in hindsight, all these limitations I kept placing on myself were just my own creation. I kept focusing on the things that would keep me from fulfilling my dreams, rather than focusing on the steps that I could take to actually reach them. I believe that it's a universal truth that life is really what you focus on. If you focus on the things that make life hard, the things that stand in the way of you achieving your dreams and your goals, well, then you're never going to achieve those things. However, on the other hand, if you focus on the small steps that will move you towards your dreams and your goals, then life becomes easier and it becomes more enjoyable. And eventually, if you keep working at it, if you have some determination, some perseverance, then you'll achieve those goals. Now, I'm not saying that life doesn't occasionally throw things in your path, right? It surely does. In fact, 2017 and 2018 was a pretty tough year for my wife and I. She had a motorcycle accident, I had some health issues, right? But we worked our way through those and tried to keep our eyes on the goals that we really wanted to achieve. And that is why for 2019, I've decided to hone my focus on achieving my most ambitious trip to date. A 60-day trip that will basically circumnavigate the United States all the way from Boston, Massachusetts, out to California, and then back home again. During this trip, I'm going to visit some places I haven't seen before and revisit some places I always wanted to go back again. I'll be riding by myself and also with some good friends. We'll also be mixing up the miles a little bit. We're going to try to keep them shorter, right, so that we can see more and do more during each day. And we're going to be doing some more camping, and we'll throw in some hotels and things in there as well. And something I'm really looking forward to is once I reach California, my wife is going to join me for a while and we're going to get to ride together. Now, as with any dream, there are people who are going to be naysayers. There are people who just won't understand why you're doing this. They've already said to me, why do you want to risk your life for 60 days out there on the road, subjecting yourselves to some of the inconveniences that travel like this throws at you? Now, I could answer that question by saying something like, well, why do you climb a mountain? Because it's there. Why do you hit the open road? Well, because it's there. And while you and I as travelers or as motorcyclists might get this, I think that the average person just isn't going to get it. So to answer the question a little bit better, I am going to paraphrase one of my favorite of the modern day philosophers, and that is the late Wayne Dyer. Now, Wayne believed that within each and every one of us, we have what he called our music, right? And that is we have our talents, our dreams, our aspirations, right? And if we went through life and we didn't let that music get played, right? That is, we didn't pursue our dreams and our aspirations, then that's a shame. That is a waste of our lives, right? So he felt that we needed to make sure that we didn't die with this music left unplayed, and that we should listen to our intuitive inner voice, right, and find those things that give us passion, those things that stir our souls, right, and that we should pursue them. Right? Well, for me, at least right now, traveling by motorcycle stirs my soul. Getting out there on the open road and seeing the beautiful things this world has to offer and meeting some of the great people out there, that stirs my soul, right? Sharing them with you here on this YouTube channel, that stirs my soul. So that is what this trip is going to be about, right? It's about playing my music, right? Living my dreams, right? And I hope that you guys all go out there and you live your dreams as well.